Okay, now it's, what's the date? The 15th of March? It's the Ides of March. Anybody knows their history, they'll know who was killed on the Ides of March back in, what was that? What was it, 44 BC?
I think so.
Who was it? Do you know?
No.
He doesn't know, so how could he think he knows? Anyways, what we're doing here is, as you can see, we've got the pickup on this baler, the BB9080, all ripped apart. We're pulling the little snips of baling twine out of there, and we are going to be replacing some of the pickup tines that are bent and damaged. Now, last year when I bought this thing, they said that they had plastic pickup guards, or pickup guards. So, here's the old ones, here's the new ones. Dad sat in a meeting with a guy over in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, Lancaster, and he said that was the best thing they ever did, was put these plastic pickup guards on there. So as you can see, they got this raised rib. Anybody that wants to buy them for their New Holland, BB9080, $5.95. They come from Tobin. There's the phone number, right there. They are $22.50 a piece. It takes that many of them. I don't know how many. I just told them to send me a whole set. The kit comes with bolts and everything that is required to install them. These things are springy. You bend a metal one, it's bent. You bend this thing, pops right back into place. And it's got that reinforcement thing there that will actually strengthen it so that it doesn't do what the metal ones do, and that is bend, break, or deform. So I bought 10 extra ones. Neighbor, he wanted to try 10 of them, but you know, he's thinking about selling his baler now and buying a 4x4, and they take a different pickup, which is fine. I'll keep them as spares, but I was told that they don't go bad. You bounce off of stuff, and unless you have a catastrophic collision with something, that they should last for a long time. So anyways, there's a bunch of them here. They come with bolts, like I was saying. 2 different bolts, a long one and a short one, because they're thick. Now, my problem with the metal bands, there's probably none of them that are bad here, but getting there. New Holland's bands are toilet paper thin. This hole here would break out where it mounts to the bottom. Now, here it is. It's starting to break out right there. You can see that spider webbing. This baler has less than 6,000 bales through it, and I've already got that problem with the metal bands already. They're starting to break out. Well, these are like 12 bucks a piece. So, I don't want them. I don't want $12 a piece and have them break. You can see they get out of form, and then they rub through, and then they break off, and they go up, and they bend the mounting tabs. I think I've already got one that's, you know, I can see it. There is one. So I got the brilliant idea that Case used to be Heston and went to New Holland, and they had decent bands on theirs. And if you look at that, you can just see the difference between, well, here, let me compare them. Well, here, we could do it this way. You can see the difference. Toilet paper, big time stuff. It's really good. And then you got that taper there. That's like better than a 1/2 inch thick. So, and back here, I believe that's a full 3/4 of an inch thick. So, I don't think I'm going to have too much trouble with these. But we're going to put them in, me and Tim, and then we'll show you what they look like when they're in. Anyways, while tearing this thing apart, we had a visitor. Gotta love visitors, right? Anyway, not a YouTube visitor, just a... What kind of visitor are you? The silent kind, the food visitor. Okay, visitor with food. She didn't even offer me any. What the heck?
I was going to.
Anyway, what?
I was going to.
You're going to? Alright, whatever. Anyways, yeah, up in the front here, I found, me and Timothy, we were taking little bits of plastic out of here that gets stuck in the tines and stuff, and I found that this bearing here had loosened up. So instead of wrestling it back in there, I just removed it. I had a spare in the shop there from the old baler, and removing the little spacer bushing there, that was a little bit of a trick, but I got that out of there and re-Loctited it and stuck it back on there. So with that being done, I think I replaced a couple of pickup tines here. I probably should replace a couple of the other ones that are worn. Like here, there's a couple of wear spots that are pretty deep. Like this one here is pretty worn. But I'm a cheap bastard, so I'm just going to ride it out. We'll see what happens. I did replace this one here. It was really worn bad, but anyway, now I'm going to start putting the plastic bands on. Okay, they're done. They're all in. Now they should be pretty well indestructible when you hit rocks and stuff. The thing that I really like about them is they're solid and smooth. There's no ridges. You know, the hay on the metal ones, they would catch here from that auger. So it's pulling it up around the corner, and then it's gonna want to catch and pull sideways, and it just puts a lot of strain on the driveline. The other thing is, well, this thing's down on the ground. You hit a groundhog hole or something, it pushes them up. I was always going along about every couple, 3 days with a rubber hammer and banging them down. Now, if you can see at this end, you see that one's a little bit uneven, this guy right here. Well, you come over here and there's a couple, 3 of them like that. All the damage is done from that auger. If you break it off at the bottom with the metal ones, they come up and around, they catch in that auger, and the auger bends it. Then in turn, where it mounts at the top here, that's bent to the side and causes these messed up looking bands. So I'm hoping and I'm believing that these things will be stronger than the steel ones, and I won't have to worry about them breaking off down at the bottom. So anyway, yeah, they're all installed. The other thing is that I'm thinking that I can get some poly flighting here. I think that's 6 inch. I'm gonna have to measure that and put poly flighting on that to keep it from wearing that auger out, and it'll cause a lot smoother crop flow, especially in wet hay or damp hay. It'll cause that to flow just really nice into the packer fingers, because I find that that's a failure right there. I just don't like the way it has to grab that hay from around the corner. If you can see, this is all worn off the paint. So yeah, so I'm going to see if I can find some. Maybe May West or something has it, and I can stick it up on there and you know, bolt it fast real nice on both sides. They're right and left-handed turn augers. So yeah, that's what I got with this one, and yeah, it's great. We're going to try it out probably next couple of days when we get into making this mulch hay that hasn't been made all winter long because it never froze. So yeah, that's what we're doing. Yeah, the 8120 pulled it out of the shed really nice. Didn't have any troubles doing. I didn't even feel the baler behind there. I know with the 4960 it was a little bit of a strain. It was like, ooh, I felt that back there, but that 42-inch rubber and everything else, it's just perfect. So anyways, thanks for watching, and you'll see more of this baler in the next couple, 3 days.